Welcome to the Veronica Edwards Show, where we have fun, financial conversations that everyone listening can apply to their personal and professional life. I'm your host, Veronica Edwards, CPA, and today we are back season 5 in 2025, completely independent, sponsored by Balance Virtually, LLC, my accounting and consulting business. But if anybody wants to be a sponsor, please reach out to us at balancevirtually.com. I want to always shout out the V team, because this season we're not only on Buzzsprout audio, but we are also on YouTube on video, which you're seeing right now. So please like and subscribe. I've been learning to say that so you can continue to see the adventures of the Veronica Edwards Show. We're trying to reach 1,000 subscribers and we're up to 32. So please subscribe. We would so appreciate that. But you can also listen to the prior shows at veronicaedwards.buzzsprout.com, also balancevirtually.com. But any episodes that took place for season 5, I think outside of 2 of them, they're on YouTube currently. So I want to go ahead and get started with today's show, which I'm excited because this is easy. This is going to be fun because we have a person that is a part of the Veronica Edwards Show family, our brand ambassador, Miss Jhylin Farr. Welcome, Jhylin.
Me.
I'm so excited. Jhylin comes on the end of every season to give her roundup about how everything went for the season. And so in May, we're airing episodes every week. Typically, we just do every other week, but it's my birth month. So I wanted to do one every week with my favorite folks, and Jhylin was definitely one of them, as well as Aaron, who is the other part of our 3-person team for the Veronica Edwards Show. So Jhylin, how have you been, friend?
I've been great. I'm really excited about this. This is so cool.
Yeah, so Jhylin has not been back on since July 2025, which was the end of season 3, which was a whole year ago. Since then, Jhylin, you haven't been doing much, right? In the last year, what you been doing?
Oh, not much at all. I mean, just had a kid and starting a business. And
Yes, hurricane that affected you guys in Greenville, South Carolina. I think at one point there wasn't heating and cooling where you were at. So you just dealing with all of
girl,
those with the baby.
the baby. It's been a rodeo.
It's been a lot. So
Yeah.
before we get into all that, Jhylin, I definitely wanted to give you your flowers. You handle everything on social media for the Veronica Edwards Show, for me personally, Balance Virtually. So you're doing content on LinkedIn, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. You designed the Veronica Edwards Show logo with the glasses, which I get so many compliments on.
Yeah.
You craft the Veronica View newsletter, which now we have every other month, but it was monthly. You also do an email blast anytime I ask. And Jhylin knows I'm always nitpicking on little things. I'm like, Jhylin, what about this? Can you add this? What about that? And then we end up coming back to what you usually do most of the time. So I just want to formally thank you for always being nice and not firing me.
Girl, my little perfectionist. It's fine. It's fine.
I'll be telling Aaron, I'm not that much of a perfectionist. Carlos is. Carlos is worse than I am. We both are perfectionists, but I guess
You
I'm
guys
more
are
of a
both.
lazy.
You both. I remember doing his album cover and I was ready to strangle him because we went round and
Yes,
round. And then he picked the one I told him anyway.
exactly. And that's what I'm learning with John. I'm like, okay, I'm thinking this, but you tell me because you're the expert and you're like, yeah, we got it. So thank you, Jhylin. Thank you. So
Of
if
course.
anybody, which we'll be talking about your services work with Jhylin, she's very flexible. She works with you. But I do feel like you're good about saying, well, this is the reason why I'm doing it. Like you're never
Mhm.
arbitrary. I'll be like, well, why are we playing this music? Can we do this? And you're like, this is the music that's trending. And then sure enough, we have 800 or 1,000 views. I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's why I'm paying you to help me out. So so let's talk about what's been going on, this beautiful baby
Hey.
you have, not just the personal, but professionally. Fill us all the
Yeah.
way in.
All the way in. So I've been a mom for like 9 months next week, and that is insane.
It's crazy. CJ's 9 and I still be like, yo, I got a kid. Like,
dude, what is life right now? I woke up and I was like, oh my gosh, they sent me home with a stranger. I've only known you 9 months. What are you doing here? And we laughed. But
Yes.
anyways, yeah, I had a kid 9 months ago. I am locking in and actually doing my media consulting thing. Check me out on Fiverr. You need some help. Um,
Ooh.
I'm working on a site, just I'm moving a little slow, but at my own pace. So it's been pretty good. It's been nice.
Which is the right pace, because I think
Yeah.
a lot of times, like we said, we'll see what everybody's doing on social media, what you hear about, but behind the scenes, we don't realize that they got a whole tribe, village, all these things that's helping them, or cash
Yeah.
flow.
Right.
And now, as a working mommy, babies are expensive.
Yes, they are.
And time consuming, but you only get that precious time, and it goes so fast. Because I'm looking at CJ now, who's going to be 10 in 2 weeks. And you remember when I was pregnant with CJ,
Yes.
when he was little.
Yes.
Jhylin's been on this journey with me. Jhylin's also honorary Asheville. She had did an internship at
Mm-hmm.
the Biltmore. Gosh, that was back in what, like 2018?
Yeah.
Yeah.
18. Yeah, 18.
Wow. So yeah, that was about 7 years ago when I first started my business, and CJ was little, and I'll be like, Jhylin, can you help? Can you babysit? Can you help me with this? Can you? So we definitely have been on that ride. So I'm not that far removed from where you're at, but I just remember being tired all the time. I'm just going to be all over the place, but what's some advice that you can give to working mommies? Because it's so fresh for you right now. That's also maybe have a hobby and they want to be an entrepreneur, or they are an entrepreneur. And now it's like you said, I have this broke stranger living with me, my child. What do you tell people to just hold on? Like, what's your motivational advice?
The advice that I give myself is the only advice that I would give to anyone. And what I figured out is be lenient with yourself, but have a very strict schedule. Everything is not going to go according to schedule, especially with a little baby because they have a mind of their own.
Yes.
But have a parameter of what your day is going to look like and set aside time to do specific things. And that's what's helped me the most. Like, I know Drew will sleep at a certain time and she may wake up earlier or go to bed later, or but
Mhm.
that block of time, she is laying on top of me and I am working on my cell phone or with my laptop right beside me. You just have to get really creative um to get it done. But give yourself grace. It's hard. Nobody tells you how hard this really is. And even if they did tell you how hard it is, you wouldn't believe them. You don't even know.
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't know. The exhaustion alone is insane, but you'll be surprised what you can get through.
Girl, that exhaustion is real. Like, you'll
Oh
feel
my
like you're
God.
drunk. Like,
Yeah,
you
literally.
go so long, I'd be like, I don't remember what I did before I had a child,
Hmm.
because now I get where people would say, oh, you're married, but you don't have a kid. You could do this, like, volunteering for stuff at church or different things in the
Hmm.
community. And I'm like, just because I don't have a kid. Yeah, now I get it. I'm like, yeah,
Nah,
no,
it's different. It's
it's real
different.
different.
It's
It's
different.
But I'm glad that you mentioned that you just have to be flexible. Give
Hmm.
yourself grace. There's times where Jhylin will send me something at 11, 12 o'clock at night. I'm up. I
Hmm.
get it. Like last night, everybody was asleep like 10:30, 11. I was like, I just want to get this hour. And
Yeah,
the bathroom is my alone spot, but you're going to start
mine
seeing that
too.
little hand go underneath the door, Jhylin, once she gets
Oh
older.
my God. I have to, I'm predominantly alone with Drew, so I have to get extremely creative. And I have to send you this picture of her, but I'm in the shower and she's in her swing and she's obviously done with the swing. And she has figured out how to lean herself all the way forward. She's hanging off of the swing as it's swinging. And she's not screaming. She's fine. I'm like, what are you doing? I pick her up. She's laughing. Like,
Yes.
oh, just give mom a heart attack. It's fine. Everything's fine.
And I love that Jalen spells her daughter name with the J like hers. It
Yeah.
makes me think of Drew Holiday, who I'm not a fan of because he's a Boston Celtics and I'm going for the Knicks. It's the playoffs right now.
Gotta
But
do the
I love
Celtics like that.
that. Now, before we move on to professional stuff, but on the personal side, how did you come up with that name? It's such a pretty name. Drew spelled Jrue.
I seen it on a baby list of names, and I seen it JRU, and originally that's what it was going to be, but I felt like it was just so short, like it just felt not right. And then
Mm-hmm.
I seen Drew Holiday on TV, and I was like, "Yep,
Get that silent E in there.
that's it,
Yes.
that's it." And I just liked it because it's unique and it's different, and that's the meaning of it. Like one of a kind, unique. And you
Mhm.
don't see too many girls with that name. So I figured, I liked it. I just
I
went
like
with
a
it.
unisex name and it's
Me
different.
too.
It's
Me
it's
too.
absolutely different. So let's jump into business. So where is your business headed? Are you feeling like you're in growth mode? Are you scaling up or are you keeping steady because you're about to do a big pivot? Because you've had a lot of big things happen in the last 9 months, but even prior to that, the last
Yeah,
18 months, I'm sure whatever you had planned for 2024, you had to change that once you found
yeah,
out that you're having this beautiful baby. But now that things are starting to settle a little bit, we know that babies are going to continue to change and
for
where
sure.
you just have to ride that wave. But where are you now with your business?
I'm still kind of in startup, I guess. And I don't think I give myself enough credit. So maybe I'm not in startup, but I feel like I'm still in startup. I'm just doing it the right way, going from a hobby to a business. So, just just getting everything rolling, like getting my account started and doing things the right way because I've just been doing a little here and a little there for
And Jylin's very
years.
nice. Don't be charging the
Yeah,
right prices. I'm like, charge
yeah,
more. And don't
yeah.
do this. So, Jhylin, who is your ideal client? If somebody's listening, we for those that don't know, haven't listened to the prior shows, Jhylin is,
hmm
the brand ambassador. She does social media, she does logos, anything digital to promote your business. But who would be an ideal client?
a small business. Um, a small business. I like to take someone who has no digital footprint and create them one. So someone who's looking to get their name out there and they're just kind of getting started as well. I like the beginning process of helping start that.
And I feel like that's needed because you'll Google and there's all these things for SEOs, and people are just like,
Yeah.
I want my name to jump up at the top of Google. And it's not necessarily all about that. And I like with Jylen, there's things I might say I want, but then she'll say, well, maybe this will get you what you're actually looking for. So it's good to have that person that's an expert in that area and that's also younger and knows everything that's trendy and that's going on. I had asked John the other day, I said, can you add us to LinkedIn? There's a couple of people that's not on social media. He was like, okay. So I'll send to John. I'm like, I'm getting like over 200 impressions, but there
hmm
are quite a few people that are actually on LinkedIn. But you are so good about meeting people where they are. And so I like that you mentioned that you want somebody that's kind of like a virgin that doesn't have, because I was that way where I was on social media, but not really. And you really helped me take my social media presence to the next level to where now, Jalen will work with you that you have to have so many posts a week and let's start getting into video. Jalen's been trying to drag me to video
Oh my
for
God.
so then it between Jylen and Aaron, and they were like, okay, what's the excuse now? Like Biz
Mom,
Radio is gone.
hey, let's
You
do
did.
this.
You dragged me on TikTok. I was starting to do the videos a little bit. I was like, I can't. So now I just record the videos. I give it to Jylen and Aaron. They do their thing. Thank you. Thank you. And that's what you want. And
Yeah.
what I like about the flexibility for those that are entrepreneurship, new moms, let people know your situation. Because, Jalen was very honest like, hey, I had a whole baby in August. There's going to be some things I'm not going to be able to do in July and August and September. But you've done such a good job. The the Hurricane Helene happened the end of September. And so you had what? a month and a half old, and you were still making sure that we were posting things and we were
Mm-hmm.
still present during that time. And, we're just texting back and forth and just trying to think of little things. It's not as overwhelming, I feel like, when you have a partner to do it with.
Absolutely. I totally agree. I totally agree. You make my job easy as well. You
Well,
make it so easy.
I'm
So
so bad. I'm always like, Jolly, I'm sorry. She's like, it's fine.
it's
We
fine.
will. You said you don't apologize for what you want, and I was like, you know
Yeah.
what? That's right. Thanks, Jylen. You're right.
This is
Because
this is you. This is your brand. This is your face. So don't apologize. Be you. If you don't like it, you not hurting
yes,
my feelings. This is your brand.
but you get a lot of I've seen it with entrepreneurs with accounting services. They'll say, "Oh, when I went to talk to my tax accountant, they kind of had an attitude or they were too busy." I'm like, "No, like you're paying them for a
Right.
service. Like why are you annoying to them? Like that might
Right.
not be the person that you want to be with." So I'm glad you said that, but it's still human nature. You still kind of feel
For
like,
sure.
"Oh, I don't want to bug the person."
Yeah.
So I'm glad to hear that you're taking clients. So we'll definitely have you
Yeah.
advertise that before we go. But before we go, I definitely always like to ask Jylen her favorites, her things that she likes that's going on so far. We had a very abbreviated season 4, like maybe 2 months. So
Yeah.
even though this is season 5, it doesn't feel like season 5 just yet, but I feel like we've kicked down the door and we've been doing so much different things and good content. What would you say has been some things that you've liked that we've done season 5, or episodes that we had, or things that surprised you with shifting now
Mm.
to YouTube? Because we still have the audio, because I'll text y'all and like, yo, there was like 200 downloads. People, I guess, are
Yeah.
still listening to the
Hmm.
audio, but we're trying to make sure that we really push YouTube. So let me know your thoughts. What are you
Yeah.
liking this season?
I'm loving everything about this season, honestly. I love that we have a really consistent look and we've locked in. It looks really clean and sleek. I love that. Um, I love that we're doing video. I think this is just so cool. I can't even. I texted me the other day. I'm scrolling on YouTube on my TV and she popped up and I was
CJ, my son, was like, Mom, you got YouTube and a website? I'm like, yeah, it's kind of a big deal.
like,
So that is cool.
yeah, I
Only
love
got
that.
only got 32 subscribers, but we on YouTube.
We, I mean, we've been a month in, so
That's
32 in a
true.
month, that's like a subscriber a day. I think you're doing great. And we're gonna it's up from here. So I think that's awesome. My favorite show so far has been, oh, I don't remember her name, but it was about the pediatric, um,
Oh, pediatric cannabis.
yeah, I was
Yes,
into
Lakeisha
that.
Moten.
Lakeisha Moten, yes, I was into that.
Yes, that was one of the highest rated shows the prior season.
Hmm.
And then I was like, oh, we got to start it off with her on. And I love that Keisha is evidence based. It's not
Yeah,
just about,
yeah.
oh, if you like to smoke or you want to do an
Right,
edible.
right.
No, she's like, this is evidence. This is
This is the
helping with.
science, exactly. And that's me all day. I love the facts. I love the science. I love it. So
Mhm.
I really enjoyed the episode. But this season has been awesome and I'm just looking forward to what's next. And it's been so fun watching everything grow and being a part of the development. It's been awesome.
So, John, I'm gonna put you on the spot. So, what have we
Ah.
not done so far that you
Hmm.
have goals for the Veronica Edwards Show for the remainder of the season, or even for season
Ooh.
6? Because we'll be taking a little break in August, and then we'll launch
Hmm.
season 6 in September. That's when we always start. So, yeah, what are some things that you're thinking that's trending now, or that you think would be a good look for the Veronica Edwards Show?
Okay, so I think. Hmm. I would love to see once your channel grows a little more and you have a larger following on YouTube. I would love to see you do something live. And I don't know what that looks
Like that.
like just yet, but just I would like to see you more interactive with your fans, girl. They like you
Oh,
out here.
I like that
And
idea too.
and maybe you did that something similar recently with the Goodwill podcast. You kind of partnered with another show, but I think it would be a good look to partner with someone else you really like and they have a larger following because then we can get some more people over to our channel.
Ebony
Um,
Sullivan, your mom, is
yes,
supposed to, she has
yes,
a podcast that I recorded with some time ago, but I know that you guys
yeah.
are going to be launching that as well. So I'm looking forward to when that comes out.
She's got a whole big rebrand launch coming, so you guys stay tuned for Ebony
Dang.
Sullivan, and I don't know if I can share her new name, but we've got a
Nope,
whole
nope.
new thing coming, so definitely look out for that.
Yeah, no, those are great things. I've also been wanting to get more young people on, but man, these young people schedules, harder
It's
than these full-time work.
crazy. It's crazy. This economy, girl. We working 3, 4 jobs,
Yeah. Because I know I have a young lady that she's a junior in high school. So I'm like, oh, when she's free, I'm not really recording. So I want to get her on. We did
Mhm.
have Taylor Tipton. We were laughing about that
Mhm.
because we got a lot of viewership from some of the shorts
Yeah.
and we weren't expecting it. It's never the folks you think this is an accountant that, and I love accountants, but I was like, oh, that got a lot of views and interest, but she's in her mid to early 20s. So I'm trying to make sure that I have a variety of folks on. I'm looking forward to when Aaron's show airs, who is the executive producer of the Veronica Edwards Show, but he
Mhm.
also trained me and Carlos with our concealed carry and our 8-hour class. And he's just been on that journey with us. And I get so many questions. People are like, yo, so you're packing now? And I'm like, well, I'm concealed. I'm not going to tell you if I am or not. But it's just been like this whole new world that I've been introduced to with
For
firearms. My
sure.
mom was saying to somebody, they were like, well, I'm not rolling up on Veronica. You know, she got her concealed carry. I'm like, period. I'm glad that they
I'm
know.
glad you feel that way.
Exactly. Well, Jhylin, thank you for making time. Thank Drew for
Absolutely.
allowing us to have some of your time as well. I would love to
Yes.
have her on next time, a little
Oh my gosh.
cameo.
She will be banging on the computer. No.
Yes. Jhylin, tell us, how can folks reach out to you if they want to get some digital services or if they just want to follow you on social media, seeing all the things that you're doing? How can people do that?
You can find me. I am branded by Colay. You can find me on Instagram. You can find me on Fiverr, just Jhylin Farr. I don't have a site just yet, so let's just stick to those two.
No, that's fine. And before we go real quick, you mentioned Fiverr, which is FIVR.
FIVERR, I think.
It's some type of weird spelling, but tell us
Yeah.
real quick about that for those that might be interested. Because when you
Yeah.
mentioned it to me, I was like, "Oh, this is different."
It's just some freelance stuff. So you can hire me to create your logo or sit with you and create a social media strategy. Um, Kind of whatever you need. You need some branding collateral done. Um, we just sit, we talk, we'll figure out what you need. Just hire me as a freelancer.
Is it kind of like Etsy for freelancers? Like, it's a place that you can go and find all these different people,
Yeah.
or
Mhm.
cool?
Mhm.
Because I see the ads, but I never knew what it was. So when you mentioned that
Yeah.
you were creating it, I was like, "Ooh."
Oh, way back a few years ago, we were working on our website for Cassie Electric, and that was me. And I hated every minute of it. I went on there and I found somebody to do it, and I was
Yeah.
like, "This is really cool." So I later joined, and so yeah, you can find me on there.
I love that. Well, thank you again, Jhylin, for being the brand ambassador. I would have quit many moons ago if it wasn't for you continuing to push, because I would have been like, after a month or two, like, this is just too hard. And
Yeah.
I am seeing the consistency. I feel like we've been doing this now for about almost 3 years, and it
Yeah.
takes a while to get that momentum, but I so appreciate you. And I want to thank the V team for listening,
Yay.
and yes, and you can listen to all prior shows at Veronica Edwards at buzzsprout.com, and you can also go to balancevirtually.com, which I'm also updating my website. I'm hoping that that can launch in June. And then we're also still available audio only on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music. So until next time, please stay balanced and financially savvy.